Oke, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello guys, tonight. So let me introduce myself. Okay, first I wanna introduce myself. Okay, my name is Hafiz Gailan Safaras, and I live in Indonesia. So right here, I'm Indonesian, and I was a college student of Syarif Hidayatullah State Islamic University, Jakarta, in the major of English Literature of the Faculty of Adab and Humanities. Okay, and now I have a college task for reviewing a book, and this is the book which I will review. This is the book which written by Hasnul Insani Johar, under the title is Rewriting Islam, the Colonialism, Justice, and Contemporary Muslimah Literature. Okay, because the task is about just one chapter reviewing, we will go to the chapter 2. Okay, we will go to the chapter 2. So before going to the chapter 2, we will go to the preface first. This is the history why Hasnul Insani Johar create and write this book. Okay, first this is part of her experiences when she was doing her master degree at Central Michigan University. At that day, she was walking to the university from downtown, and suddenly a truck driver yelled terrible words at her. She was shocked and tough. What's going on? Why did I do that? Made him so mad at me? And in another event, when she was walking in the park, American extremists suddenly threw a ball at her and also yelled a bad word at her too. She was shocked again and started to understand that this was because they know about Muslims only from the American media, which tends to associate Muslims with terrorists. Then, the last event she would like to share here occurred when she went to the 9/11 Memorial and Museum in New York City. The American officers asked her to take off her hijab. Of course, she didn't want to do that, as the hijab for her is a symbol of her dignity and security, because she follow Allah's law and believe Allah will also follow her and protect her always. So the hijab is a symbol of protection for her, especially if she lives in a foreign country where prejudice and hatred toward Muslimah is rampant. She replied to the American officers, "How would you feel if someone asks you to take off your trousers? Would you be embarrassed and humiliated?" Thus, all these bad experiences inspire her to investigate how Muslim women or Muslimah Americans tell their own stories, especially struggling to survive in foreign country where, as in many dominant societies, Anglo-Americans perceive them as enemies or threats instead of victims of U.S. imperialism linked to Israeli Zionism. Okay, next. And initially, her research focused on dominant American literature, especially the work of Mark Twain. However, she shifted the focus to Muslim American literature in order to understand what it means to be a minority, like Muslim Americans who have suffered from racism and American imperialism since the era of colonialism to the period of global transnational capitalism by shifting the focus of her research to the mainly contemporary literature of the Ummah by Muslim women or Muslimah. She also participated in larger debates of decolonizing the English curriculum dominated by Western literature instead of non-European literature. Okay, now we will go to the chapter 2. Okay, the chapter 2 is, the title is Decolonizing Muslim Cultures and Food Cultures. Okay, first there's a quote which cited from The Language of Baklava, a memoir which written by Diana Abu Jaber. Okay, I will read. They call this dish maglobe, which means upside down, because you invert the pot so the layers of rice, onions, eggplant, cauliflower, and lamb are reversed from their position in the pot. Some cooks make it so the ingredients slip out neat as an upside down cake, like a terrine or timbale. Okay. Next we will be we'll discuss this chapter. Okay, we will discuss this chapter. Then This chapter explores how Diana Abu Jaber uses food to establish her multiple identities and self-actualization in her memoir. The Language of Baklava, which published in 2005. Okay, and Life Without a Recipe, which published in 2016. Okay, with its engagements with food studies, this chapter investigates how Diana turns the melting pot, the Eurocentric American slogan, focusing on white Anglo-Saxon American cultures, into the maglobe pot, the Arab dish with various ingredients, vegetables, meat, and rice, representing different ethnicities of people of color. Thus, this memoir decolonized Orientalism and Eurocentrism by utilizing food such as maglobe and baklava and food culture, especially Mediterranean food and traditions. So the something should you know. The Cambridge Dictionary defines the melting pot as a place or situation where the people and cultures of many different places mix. However, Anglo-Americans dominate these many different places, and this concept predominantly originated from European cultures or Eurocentrism, which tends to exclude non-European or people of color from American belonging. Then, to dismantle this white supremacy, Abu Jaber utilizes food and food culture by offering the idea of the maglobe pot to turn down the idea into the melting pot. Indeed, this chapter focuses on three main vital terms: hummus, maglobe, and baklava, which function to subvert the classical idea of the melting pot. This chapter also introduces and considers the literary and scholarly context necessary to examine Abu Jaber's memoirs. And this is my argument about this chapter. Okay. as we know before, that in Cambridge Dictionary, melting pot means a place or situation where the people and cultures of many different places mix. Then, the melting pot Maglobe is look like that. You will see that vegetables, meat, and rice were become in one place in the pot, right? If you imagine, so this is same like the definition from the Cambridge Dictionary. Okay, this is same. However, Anglo-Americans dominate these many different places, and concept predominantly originated from European cultures or Eurocentrism, which tends to exclude non-Europeans or people of color from American belonging. And Diana Abu Jaber want to dismantle this white supremacy by utilizing food and food culture by offering the idea of the Maglobe pot to turn down into the idea of melting pot. Okay, it's only that for chapter 2. Okay, thank you for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If you want to see this book is like this. Maybe you can take a screenshot and then you search in Google Lens for search this easier. Okay, thank you.